So, das ist eine Falle. Hier vorne müsste es, da vorne ist der Ausgang und hier müsste jetzt, genau, von hier oben meine ich. Ach, hier geht's gar nicht lang. Na super. Toll. Einmal eine Idee gehabt, war direkt ausgeschieden. Super. Dass es hier echt nicht lang geht, na gut. Aber da kann ich nichts machen, dann werde ich wieder gehen. Tut mir leid, aber... Nicht, weil ich die Herausforderung nicht mag, aber es ist einfach zu heftig. Ich schaffe das gegen die 3 nicht. Also ich schaffe es vor allem gegen den Mistwalker nicht. Der ist ja alleine schon ziemlich stark, aber mit noch anderen dabei, das funktioniert nicht. Ne? Das kann ich so knicken. Muss ich erstmal meinen Trank trinken. Ja, ich gucke gerade nochmal. Active Effects. Progress to Vampirism. Okay. Wenn ich jetzt Items, Potions, wenn ich jetzt Cure Disease mache. Okay, ist es jetzt weg? Ah, sehr schön. Okay, gut. Dann gehen wir eben weiter nach Rorikstead. Wenn es der Weg dorthin führt, machen wir das. So, hier können wir noch mal ein bisschen looten. Barbarian-Helm brauche ich jetzt nicht unbedingt. Ein Hot Meat. Nichts Interessantes dabei, okay. Ein Pferd krabbelt den erstmal an. Na gut, dann lasse ich die hier mal. Oh, ein Häuschen. Zum Häuschen können wir noch mal gehen. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir da eh lang. Was ist hier das für ein guter Herr? Hallo?
Hello there, friend. How lucky for you to chance upon a
the
bard.
Wanderer. Aha, ein Bard. What are you doing out here?
Serving and capturing the epic struggle for Skyrim. When brothers clash with bitter blades, surely there is a song to be found.
Aber, can you teach me about speechcraft?
Afraid not. But if you're serious about sharpening that tongue,
Ja, okay.
you might try the Bard's College in Solitude.
Can I make a Wobei, ich brauche jetzt auch keinen... Ich muss jetzt mir auch kein Lied von dem anhören. Ist schön, dich kennenzulernen. Auf Wiedersehen. So, da vorne ist wieder eine Ruine. Und hier vorne müsste irgendwo ein Häuschen sein. Und eine Mine. Oder eine Höhle, besser gesagt. Keine Mine unbedingt. Light snow begins to fall. Da vorne ist ein Imperial Camp, das siehst du an dem Zeichen. Auf dem rechts neben dem Häuschen auf der Karte. Um ehrlich zu sein, klingt das nicht so gut. Da drin. Ich mach mal einen Quick Save. Alchemist Check discovered. Irgendwo wird gezaubert. Ich nehme mal die Nightshades mit. Nightshades und Death Bell. Nehme ich mit. Und was ist das hier oben drauf? Hawk Feathers, okay. Red Mountain Flower und die Hawk Feathers hole ich mir gleich. Fire Salts nehme ich natürlich auch gerne mit. Journal. Recluse Alchemists. Coming to this area with a brilliant decision. The local flora seem to have many useful properties that I've been able to utilize into new potions. Outside, the rich soil has allowed the cuttings I've collected to grow into fine and bountiful plants. This afternoon, I think I will journey out for more mushrooms as my current supply is beginning to dwindle. On a personal note, I have moved my alchemy work outside the shack. I find I find the midday air is a boon to my health, as well as inspirational to my work. Okay. Die nehmen wir mit aus dem Satchel. Charcoal, okay, nehmen wir auch mit. Ich weiß gar nicht, wofür man das brauchen könnte. Bucket. Okay, den Bucket haben wir auch mitgenommen. Dried Mushrooms, Garlic. Äpfel gibt es haufenweise, Karotten. Ich glaube, der braucht das Zeug alles nicht mehr. Ich glaube, der ist tot. Butterfly in a jar. Wooden Ball, gut, die Wooden Ball brauche ich jetzt nicht. Fire Salts und Frost Salts nehme ich aber sehr gerne mit. Barrel, was ist hier drin? Gut, brauche ich jetzt nicht unbedingt. The Song of Pelinal, Volume 7. Ob das gewollt ist, das Bild da oben? Ich weiß ja nicht. The Ethereum Wars. Ich blätter nur durch, um zu gucken, wie lang die sind. Aber ich lese die jetzt nicht. Ich habe gerade keinen Bock. Ehrlich gesagt. Investigate the ruins of Arkengdamas. Was auch immer. Okay, wir sollen die Ruinen von Arkengdamas erforschen. Warum auch nicht, ne? So. Mal gucken. Also hier würden wir jetzt Richtung Iverstead und der Höhle kommen. Das ist Imperial Lager und hier vorne ist ein Gegner. Oh, okay. Talmo Wizard. Oh, die halten aber auch einiges aus. Alter. Heiliger, was ist hier los? Boah, okay. Das ist nicht so witzig. Wie komme ich an denen vorbei? Ich muss jetzt nochmal hier alles einsammeln, leider. Okay, die Ruinen. Hier war nichts, glaube ich, drin. Den nehme ich mit. Die Salze nehme ich mit. Das Cloudust auch sehr gerne. Das haben wir auch schon gelesen. Fire Salts. Was ist da drin? Okay. Endtable. Charcoal. Das nehme ich gerne mit. Hawk Feathers. Was ist das? No, ach so, das war eine Red Mountain Flower, okay. Oh, Spiky Grass. Okay. So, ich steig mal aufs Pferd und speichere nochmal. Hier vorne ist alles andere als witzig in den Talmo Wizards. Ich sag einfach auf Wiedersehen und reite weiter. Das ist mir zu heftig. Ein Bär, na klar. Oh, zum Glück war der nicht so heftig. So, die Talmo Wizards, ich hoffe, die kommen mir jetzt nicht hinterher. Ich glaube es aber nicht. Ich speichere jetzt mal nicht. Ich speichere in der Höhle, mache ich einen normalen Save. Jetzt nämlich. Hol schnell den Bogen raus. Ja, toll, natürlich voll vorbeigeschossen. Ich muss jetzt erstmal was tun. Okay, der geht irgendwie mehr ab als der vorher. Aber ich habe es noch gerade so geschafft. Erstmal heilen. es ist so angenehm, dass es weniger Mana verbraucht. Mit den Mace und das Schild. Das nimmt natürlich auch alles mit. Claws und Pelz, das ist sehr nett. Aber ich wähle erstmal wieder den Bogen aus und schleiche ein bisschen, weil ich nicht weiß, ob hier noch was ist. Ein Bandit. Orkish Arrows. Lockpick. The Locked Room. Okay. Ein Arrows brauche ich überhaupt nicht. Einen Dagger nehme ich nochmal mit. Bandana ist ja toll, brauche ich auch nicht. Ein Lederhelm. Okay. Der ist wohl von Bären überfallen worden hier drin. Also ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, dass da hier die Höhle mit der Kiste betreten hat, als die Bären schon drin waren vielleicht. Oder vielleicht waren die auch weg und sind dann zum Schlafen heimgekommen und ihn hat's erwischt. Er ist nicht angefressen, ne? Das ist ein bisschen seltsam, aber egal. The Locked Room, ich guck mal gerade. Das würde mich jetzt auch mal interessieren. Lockpicking. The Locked Room by Porbert Lutomley. Yana was precisely the kind of student her mentor Athkamu despised. The professional amateur. He enjoyed all the criminal types who were his usual pupils at the stronghold, from the common burglar to the more sophisticated blackmailers. Children and young people with strong career ambitions which the art and science of lockpicking could facilitate. So. They were always interested in simple solutions, the easy way, but people like Yana were always looking for exceptions, possibilities, exotica. For pragmatists like Athkamu, it was intensely vexing. The Red Guard maiden would spend hours in front of a lock, prodding at it, with her wires and picks, flirting with the key pins and driver pins, exploring the hull with a sort of casual fascination that no delinquent possesses. Long after her fellow students had opened their test locks and moved on, Yana was still playing with hers. The fact that she always opened it eventually, no matter how advanced the lock it was, irked Athkamu even further. "You're making things much too difficult," he roared, boxing her ears. "Speed is the essence, not merely technical know-how. I swear that if I put the key to the lock right in front of you, you'd still never get around to opening it." Yana would bear Athkamu's abuse philosophically. She had, after all, paid him in advance. Speed was doubtless an important factor for the picker trying to get somewhere he wasn't supposed to go, with the city guard on patrol behind him, but Yana knew it wouldn't apply to her. She merely wanted the knowledge. Athkamu did everything he could think of to encourage Yana to move faster. She seemed to perversely thrive on his physical and verbal blows, spending more and more time on each lock, learning its idiosyncrasies and personality. Finally, he could bear it no longer. Very late one afternoon, after Yana had dawdled over a perfectly ordinary lock, he grabbed the girl by her ear and dragged her to a room in the stronghold far from the other students, an area they had always been forbidden to visit. The room was completely barren, except for one large crate in the center. There were no windows and no other door except for the one leading in. Athkamu slammed his student against the crate and closed the door behind her. There was a distinct click of the lock. "This is a test for my advanced students," he laughed. He laughed behind the door. "See if you can escape." Yana smiled and began her usual slow process of massaging the lock, gaining information. After a few minutes had gone by, she heard Athkamu's voice again call out from behind the door. "Perhaps I should mention that this is a test of speed. You see the crate behind you? It contains a vampire a vampire ancient who has been locked in here for many months. It is absolutely ravenous. In a few minutes' time, the sun will have completely set, and if you have not opened the door, you will be nothing but a bloodless husk. Yana considered only for a moment whether Athkamu was joking or not. She knew he was an evil, horrible man, but to resort to murder? To teach his pupil? The moment she heard a rustling in the crate, any doubts she had were erased. Ignoring all her usual explorations, she jammed her wire into the lock, thrust the pegs against the pressure plate, and shoved open the door. Athkamu stood in the hallway beyond, laughing cruelly. So, now you've learned the value of fast work. Yana fled from Athkamu's stronghold, fighting back her tears. He was certain that she would never return to his tutelage, but he considered that he had taught her at least a very valuable lesson. When she did return the next morning, Athkamu registered no surprise, but inside he was seething. "I'll be leaving shortly," she explained quietly. "But I believe I've developed a new type of lock, and I'd be grateful if you'd give me your opinion of it." Athkamu shrugged and asked her to present her design. "I was wondering if I might use the vampire room and install the lock. I think it would be better if I demonstrated it." Athkamu was dubious, but the prospect of the tiresome girl leaving at last put him in an excellent and even indulgent mood. He agreed to give her access to the room. For all morning and most of the afternoon she worked near the slumbering vampire, removing the old lock and adding her new prototype. Finally she asked her old master to take a look. He studied the lock with an expert eye and found little to be impressed. "This is the first and only pig-proof lock," Yana explained. "The only way to open it is to have the right key." Athkamu scoffed and let Yana close the door, shutting him in the room. The door clicked and he began to go to work. To his dismay, the lock was much more difficult than he thought it would be. He tried all his methods to force it and found that he had to resort to his hated student's method of carefully and thorough exploration. "I need to leave now," called Jana from the other side of the door. "I'm going to bring the city guard to the stronghold. I know that it's against the rule, but I really think it's for the welfare of the villagers not to have a hungry vampire on the loose. It's getting dark, and even though you aren't able to unlock the door, the vampire might be less proud about using the key to escape. Remember when you said, if I put the key to the lock right in front of you, you'd still be never getting around to open it?" "Wait!" Athkamu yelled back. "I'll use the key! Where is it? You forgot to give it to me!" But there was no reply. Only the sound of footfall disappearing down the corridor beyond the door. Athkamu began to work harder on the lock, but his hands were shaking with fear. With no windows, it was impossible to tell how late it was getting to be. Were minutes that were flying by or hours? He only knew that the vampire ancient would know. The tools could not stand very much twisting and tapping from Athkamu's hysterical hands. The wire snapped in the keyhole just like a student. Athkamu screamed and pounded on the door, but he knew that no one could possibly hear him. It was while sucking in his breath to scream again, he heard the distinct creak of the crate opening behind him. The vampire ancient regarded the master locksmith with insane, hungry eyes and flew at him in a frenzy. Before Athkamu died, he saw it. On a chain that had been placed around the vampire's neck while it had been sleeping was a key. Wie assi. Auf sowas kommst du doch auch nicht, oder? Stell dir mal vor, du bist irgendwo eingesperrt und brauchst einen Schlüssel, um eine Tür zu öffnen, die über Leben und Tod entscheidet. Machst du dann eine Kiste mit einem lebenden Vampir darin auf, nur um rauszufinden, ob da ein Schlüssel dran ist? Ich glaube nicht. Also ich würde das, glaube ich, nicht machen. So weit würde ich, glaube ich, nicht denken. Oh, ein Kurier.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Your hands only.
Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Visit the Museum in Dawnstar, daran kann ich mich erinnern. Okay. Bei Gelegenheit werde ich es tun. Ich möchte mich aber erstmal hier umschauen. Ein Ivarstead. Ivarstead ist nicht groß, aber man kann hier ein bisschen, ich glaube, es gibt ein paar Quests.
We need to do something about these vampire attacks.
We need to do something about these vampire attacks. Alles klar. Climax Haus, okay, das ist zu. Das hier könnte eine Taverne sein. Weilmer Inn, alles klar. Das gefällt mir sehr gut.
Welcome to the Wilmer Inn.
Oder
If there's
Wilmer.
anything I can get you, just let me know.
Ja, wir können mal reden, wenn du willst. Wilhelm.
If I were you, I'd keep away from the barrow on the east side of town. It's haunted.
Ach, hier ist ja auch irgendwo, glaube ich, eine Ruhestätte. Anything you can tell me about High Hrothgar?
The Greybeards are a solitary lot. I don't think they've ever ventured outside their monastery. We get the occasional pilgrim passing through here on their way to the summit, but almost all of them have returned disappointed.
Okay. I'm looking for work. Got any leads?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Bounty, bandits added. Okay. Tell me more about the burrow.
There ain't much more to tell. They're haunted, and you should stay away. Look, I've seen one of the spirits with my very own eyes. When it glared at me, I swear it burned right through my soul.
It burned right through my soul. Do the spirits haunt your town as well?
Fortunately, they seem to be sticking to the barrow. I think they're guarding it. Certainly isn't helping my business any. Who'd want to rent a room anywhere near a haunted barrow?
I could investigate for you.
If you think there's anything you can do, be my guest.
Has anyone ever explored the burrow?
About a year or two ago, some fella named Windelius came through. Said he was some kind of a treasure hunter. I warned him not to go in there, just like I warned you. The very next night we heard screams from the barrow, and that was it. We never saw him again.
Okay, das klingt interessant. Where can I learn more about magic?
Sir, I've got no interest in magic, you. I don't even like our Jarl having a court wizard.
Lindley Star.
Pardon me, my lord. Would you care to hear me play
Watch your step.
Ich dachte gerade, sie wäre ein
Long
Vampir.
way down.
Search. Okay, es ist auch nicht so komfortabel hier, muss man sagen. Wer ist das? Hallo? Hallo? Temper Whitearm. Das ist die vom Chest. Keiner hat's gesehen. Keiner hat's gesehen. Fall from Glory. Okay, das lese ich jetzt. Aber es ist nicht so lang, das kann man mal vorlesen. Okay. Fall from Glory by Nethilis Lidari. The Thieves Guild of Skyrim is something of an enigma. Within the last few decades, their order has gone from one of the largest, most influential criminal organizations in all of Tamriel to a small group of stragglers barely able to wreak havoc in their home city of Riften. Although evidence that could explain this rapid decline has never surfaced, speculation has run rampant. One theory holds that the guild suffered a loss. It's strongly believed that their guildmaster was slain by one of their own. The guildmaster, known only as Gallus, maintained strong ties with many of the influential families in Skyrim. When he perished, those bonds perished with him. Without these bonds, the guild could no longer safely operate within Skyrim's halls. A second theory suggests that the guild is experiencing some sort of mystical curse, causing normal activities for its members to become exceedingly difficult. While there is no solid evidence to support this theory, the last 2 decades have seen an unusual rise in failed attempts by the guild to execute highly lucrative heists. Reasons for the presence of this supposed curse is being attributed to everything from the aforementioned murder to divine interference. In order to solve this mystery once and for all, I've spent the last 2 years infiltrating the Thieves Guild. Initially, making contact with them in Riften proved difficult as they're quite wary of outsiders. But through repeated efforts, I was able to gain their confidence. It's my hope that once I've gained access to some of the guild's leadership, I can learn more about their decline and publish a second volume of my work. Although helping the guild perform their petty crimes brands me as a criminal, I feel that it's a burden worth bearing. The mystery of the Thieves Guild, fall from power, needs to be solved once and for all as a matter of record and as a footnote to Skyrim's history. Okay. Wabbajack! Den Wabbajack kenne ich auch. Das wird noch spaßig, wenn wir den irgendwann finden. Kann ich auch mal vorlesen. Das ist, glaube ich, der krankeste Daedra-Lord überhaupt. Also nicht Wabbajack, sondern der dem Wabbajack gehört. Das ist der krankeste. Mir fällt der Name gerade nicht ein, aber der Typ ist so... Es ist einfach geil. Little boys shouldn't summon up the forces of eternal darkness unless they have an adult supervising. I know. But on that sunny night, on the 5th of first seed, I didn't want an adult, I wanted Hermeos Mora, the Daedra of knowledge. Learning, gums, and varnishes. You see, I was told a beautiful large-breasted man who lived under the library in the hometown that the 5th of first seed was Hermeos Mora's night. And if I wanted the Ogma Infinium, the Book of Knowledge, I had to summon him. When you're the new King of Solitude, every bit of knowledge helps. Normally, you need a witch's coven or a mage's guild, or at least matching pillowcase and sheets to invoke a Prince of Oblivion. The man under the library showed me how to do it myself. He told me to wait until the storm was at its height, before shaving the cat. Shaving the cat? Was zur Hölle? I've forgotten the rest of the ceremony, it doesn't matter. Someone appeared who I thought was Hermeos Mora. The only thing that made me somewhat suspicious was Hermeos Mora, from what I've read, has a big, blobby, multi-eyed clawed monstrosity, and this guy looked like a waist-coated banker. Also, he kept calling himself Sheogorath, not Hermeos Mora. Still, I was so happy to have successfully summoned Hermeos Mora. These inconsistencies did not bother me. He had me do some things that didn't make any sense to me beyond the mortal scope, breadth, and ken, I suppose. And then his servant happily gave me something he called the Wabbajack. Wabbajack. Maybe the Wabbajack is the Book of Knowledge. Maybe I'm smarter because I know cats can be bats, can be rats, can be hats, can be gnats, can be thats, can be thises. And that doors can be bars, can be snores, can be floors, can be roars, can be spores, can be yours, can be mine. I must be smart, for the interconnective system is very clear to me. Then why or wherefore do people keep calling me mad? Wabbajack, Wabbajack, Wabbajack.
Novakin, Dragonborn,